Name a website where you could find all content from We Studios, including Worst Episode Ever, a Simpsons podcast, other episodes of 90s Percentile, and our DVD, not DVD commentary series, Sync Points.
Ooh, I think I know this one.
You got to buzz in.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, Dan?
I want to say Reddit r/worst episode ever.
Is it up there? No, not quite. There is a link to Reddit also on this website.
Oh, okay. Then it must be google.com.
Nope. Strike two.
Man.
Go for the steal.
Is it wepodcast.com?
Ding, ding, ding. It's not.
Right.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Ruining the bit here. Is it up there?
I thought I already won.
We're going.
Steve Harvey, what are you doing?
Oh, boy. That's wepodcast.com. WEEpodcast.com. By Amazon?
By Amazon.
Is it up there? 60 minutes are on the clock and straight out of We Studios. This is 90s Percentile. My name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and we are talking everything 90s and maybe also everything before and after.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that.
The podcast.
Look at that. It says it right there.
Right there on the script.
We read it right off the script.
Same thing we've been doing for the last 54 episodes. We like to keep it consistent.
Keeping it constant. That's what you get on 90s Percentile.
Very often we have a guest.
Jack, do we have a guest today?
Yes, we're keeping it constant, keeping
All
it consistent.
right.
Let's introduce him. Joe Origlieri.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's fine.
Doing all right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, Joe.
I want to have a guest on and have him be like, that sucks.
We've had Nick Noga on.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. I forgot.
So, Joe, what do you know? Joe, you are a filmmaker.
Yeah.
You've also done... so you've done sound on a lot of like big cable shows. What is the title for that? It's not Best Boy, right?
No. I usually am a sound utility person.
Ooh, that sounds
Sometimes
fancy.
called a cable person.
Okay.
Used to be called a cable man.
Like Nathan Summers. He's a cable man.
Was it ever called Cable Guy?
No. But it's always this one word. I basically change the batteries and run all the cable. I'm a second boom operator if we need it. And I'm allowed to do everything but mix the sound, except when the mixer has to go take a dump, and then
That's your time to shine.
I get to step into the chair.
So you're just feeding the sound mixer prunes and just kind of like encouraging this?
Prunes and dairy.
There you go.
So what are some of the shows or movies you were mixing while the other guy was taking a shit?
Noah, Black Swan. He's gonna kill me.
I sense a pattern here.
So a lot of Darren Aronofsky?
Yeah.
Are you wrestling with...
Wrestler, that was one of them. Wrestler, yep, that was another one. TV shows, I've done it. Billions.
Yeah.
I don't work on much TV.
no fun comments for Billions.
I don't really like working on TV shows.
What's the difference?
TV is kind of like what you're doing doesn't really matter. Like everybody just wants to get through the day. And
It's not.
Oh no, the truck's on fire in the background. Like, they're looking at the truck. They're not watching the show. Just go with it.
So it's just like more of a job than a passion.
Yeah,
project.
so you just go in, you punch the clock, and then 16 hours later you punch it again and you go home.
That's funny because like I can see the director, especially TV director, is one of the worst positions, one of the worst jobs. I mean, I would take
very
it in a
journeyman.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
But it's you don't have any control over the actors.
No,
the actors own their. They've been doing it for weeks or months or years.
Yep.
You don't really have. You can't be doing your amazing Joss Whedon single take shots or anything because you're on a tight schedule.
Nope.
But so I'm not surprised about the directors. But because when a director's doing their film, that's the boss. It's like that's why you're there. That's why you're doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I would think union crew jobs, movie or TV, a job is a job either way. But they do care more on the movies.
They do care a lot. They care more about what they're getting.
Is it because
like the quality of it?
Okay.
Versus like just keeping the numbers right, not going over a certain day.
Is it because like I'm much more likely to watch a DVD of Black Swan 50 times as opposed to that episode, season 3, episode 4 of The District 50 times?
That was a good episode.
It was a great episode.
Oh my God.
Craig T. Nelson nailed it.
Amaze.
I feel like it's like a money thing. Like you have to like I don't know. People pay to get these movies made because they want to see something artsy.
All right.
And,
so they pay better, I guess you're saying.
No.
No.
Yeah. The budget with the budget caps, we basically get paid based on what the budget of the thing we're working on is, but there's a very low cap. So like once it hits like I think it's like 20 million.
Yeah.
It just stays. The rate is the
Oh
same.
wow, that's crazy.
So you make the same on a $20 million movie that you make on a $200 million movie.
By that logic, someone could make more money with a flop than with a hit.
Dan, we need to talk after the show.
Let's assume you're a dishonest man.
Spoiler alert, we've been trying to do that with 90s Percentile this whole time.
I think it's working.
It flopped.
Yeah.
But we didn't make any money.
We didn't make any money. We didn't do
I
it
feel
right.
like there was something you were supposed to do. You don't just flop. I feel like there was something you were supposed to also
remember.
do to make money by flopping.
I remember the part he had a blanket. I don't remember. I don't know.
So, besides sound, what have you directed? What have you been...
Yeah, so in my, it used to be in my spare time, but now I actually kind of semi-do it for real.
Hey,
but
there you go.
I've been directing like short videos for Adult Swim.
Oh, I've heard of Adult Swim.
Yeah, they make funny movies and...
They make the funny stuff.
They make funny TV shows and videos and stuff. And,
Nice. That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
where can people see your videos?
they're on YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah, the last
Heard of
ones I
that
did
too.
are there. And I have new ones that have not been put up yet. But
we were going to play a clip that I was supposed to set up before we started recording. Completely forgot.
See, we're kind of a professional. We kind of do this for a living, but like only kind of.
it's like when I make videos for Adult Swim.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought by fucking up, we were going to make money again. I thought like by I watched the producers several times.
We're gonna have to watch it again. I think
We
something
missed
is lost
something.
in the translation.
I think. Well, Matthew Broderick killed somebody in real life. I feel like maybe that's it. Maybe I have to like.
That's what we have to
multiple
do.
people, right?
Yeah. Maybe I have to fall asleep.
He was the Zodiac killer, I think. I think we just cracked the case, boys.
It was hard for them to solve because he was asleep every time he did it.
Absolutely.
It was son of Sam, man.
Oh man, I don't know where we're going now.
I'm waiting for you guys
You
to
are
stall while I
trying to find
this
something.
clip.
Well, I'm happy to see your computer is working.
This is not my. This is the.
Oh, this is a different computer.
Yeah, you
the
were-
other one is completely broken.
You should be surprised. You sit next to me and watch me use the other computer.
Part of it was
We
for
were
the
talk-
listeners
we were
because
talking to Joyce on this computer.
I know a lot of our listeners were very concerned about the fate of your computer.
I still keep getting these weird pop-up ads.
Yeah, that's probably just never going to go away.
I might have to just format. I tried to use chat roulette last week, Joe.
That's what I listened to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So he
but-
knows. He's a fan, Jack.
Yeah. So that computer's still dead, huh?
It's working. It's just
Just got porn all over it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I've had that before.
So
though.
in a way, they made the computer better.
It's not the kind of porn I like. There's all
foot
sex
stuff.
in it.
It's all foot stuff.
There was hardly any tickling.
Oh, I know why. I'm using Google Chrome here. Not used to it. Here it is.
So we're putting out another high-quality episode today on 90s Percentile. Jack, what's your opinion on Star Trek?
It's good. So, Joe, is this an actual clip? This doesn't look like a clip from your Adult
well, here's the
Swim
deal.
short.
All right, so I made 3 fake commercials.
Did you
for
grab
them.
an extra beer from the fridge
Yeah.
before we started
Yeah.
recording? That's
Smart man.
that's some foresight. Right
Joe
there.
would have set up this clip before the show started. That's how good he
We
is.
should switch places.
Yeah, we should.
I'd be here with no beers. What was I supposed to do? And then we'd make money.
And then we'd make money. I think that's how you do it.
All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, so what is this?
All right, so I made them 3 fake commercials, and when I was editing them, before I recorded the voiceover for the infomercial one, I recorded myself as like a placeholder voiceover.
temp track.
A temp track, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad at acting and performing.
That's
And
not true. I saw you do improv. You were great.
I was recording myself in my closet, and at the time, like I was really depressed. We had bed bugs. It was awful.
Oh, God.
So I had to say one line of dialogue. I think it was simple, STEM simple. That's all I had to say. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I took. I did that for like 3 hours.
What
Finally
is the
got it.
context?
3
of that?
hours?
Simple, STEM.
So
simple?
let me give some background. They're commercials for like fake products that are made by this company that uses human stem cells to make household products.
Okay.
Now, these are not available yet. This is
they are not.
coming out
Yeah, this
at some point in the future.
Yeah, they're going to be
Okay.
aired on April 2nd.
We're not
Okay.
allowed, so that's why we're not allowed.
We're
So
not
I
allowed to
can't,
clip-
I can't actually
okay.
play you a clip, but what I can play you is when I was recording that stuff in my closet, I cut together all the times that I screamed, "Fuck," and I sent it to my brother, and he liked it.
So fuck isn't in the script. The,
No.
the line is
No.
simple, STEM simple, and you kept fucking it up, and then after you fucked it up, you gutturally just yelled fuck.
Oh yeah, it got pretty ugly. I punched a hole in my closet wall.
And you just streamed all those fucks together and took out everything else.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
it's actually a cut down version. I didn't want to take up too much of your show with it.
Okay,
So
that's
this
fine.
It's only
the
about
abridged.
20 seconds.
This is
55 minutes
Yeah.
to go.
the abridged outtakes to an upcoming. Here's an exclusive for you. An upcoming Adult
Yeah.
Swim.
You're not going to get this anywhere
short.
else.
Yeah, this is the.
You're not getting this on fresh air.
Well, you might. Terry
might.
Gross is a miracle worker.
She is a delight.
You'll hear this soon. You won't hear this, but you'll hear its source on Adult Swim soon, and you may or may not hear this on Fresh Air with Terry Gross at some point. Here we go.
One sip of his baited blood and it's bye-bye, Mr. Mosquito. Fuck it. One sip of his baited... Whoa. Fuck! One sip of his baited blood and it's bye. Fucking carpet's falling down. Why? It's not attached to the fucking wall. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it in the ass. Fuck it in its hard ass. Hard, tight ass. Put your dick in it and fuck it. Fuck it till it's dead. Fuck. Simple. Stem fucking simple. Call now. Simple. Stem simple. Fuck. What am I doing with my life? I'm in my closet. Stay in school.
Wow.
That was fantastic.
That reminds me of when you watch a Jackie Chan movie and at the end,
Yeah, the
they show the
bloopers.
bloopers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just Jackie Chan like fuck. And then eventually, a birthday cake comes out for one of the crew members, and they
Yeah,
say "Happy Birthday"
of course.
in Chinese.
You guys are bringing me a birthday cake now?
fuck.
You didn't prepare that either.
Where's the money? What am
I
doing
don't know.
wrong?
Where is our money? Guys, we need your money.
I wrote a lot of songs about Hitler. Do you want to see them?
No, I think we're good. Joe,
Trying
that
my
was
best
awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks for sharing that with us. That's really cool. So you said April 2nd on Adult Swim's YouTube channel. People can watch that.
They're airing them on the 2nd, and then at some point after that, they're going to put them on YouTube.
Got it. Okay,
and,
so it'll be on Adult Swim
YouTube
on
gets
April
the
2nd.
sloppy seconds.
Got
yeah,
it.
pretty much.
Naturally. Well, very cool. I think since we're already about 10 minutes into the show, we should probably get to our first 90s topic.
90s.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
sometimes we talk about the 90s on this show. Not all the time.
I thought this
Sometimes
was a show
it's-
about percentiles.
Not yet. We haven't
I
changed
came
the
here for
name.
market advice.
All right, what you want to do is put all your money into plastics.
I don't do stocks because I have no money and I don't understand money and how it works.
I also don't understand money.
But
It's
I
bad.
really wanted to buy a lot of Snapchat stock this week because I
Yeah.
assumed it would make some money.
I think you're a bit late on that.
You're a bit late now.
No, I know, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be great. I was
But-
there. I was like watching it, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
But, except I don't know how to buy stocks.
That's
and
exactly
I
what I was
don't
going to
have any
say.
money.
I was going to say, like, how like, I want to get on a Snapchat IPO. What do you do? I don't know what you
I
do.
don't know. I don't understand how it works.
You pick up the phone?
One of these days, I'm a big gambler. So one of these days, I plan on getting into it because everybody at work are big stock junkies, and it looks fun.
Yeah.
But I've got some short term and some long term debt to clear first.
Yes.
But I'll get there
We have to pay off this Solid Gold studio somehow.
somehow.
Joe, you are our
Yeah.
guest. So we're so happy to have you.
Oh,
so happy. You
great-
can't even
great to be
imagine. As our guest, it is your right to choose our first 90s topic, or in lieu of that, you can go into our random topic generator where listeners of the show have gone to wepodcast.com or 90spercentile.com to submit 90s topics.
I want
So
to
we
go
can-
random.
We've had a lot of bold guests lately. We had a stretch where guests were like, I want to pick my topic. I want to talk about Friends and Boy Meets World.
Those losers.
Losers.
I do not want to talk about Friends. I never watched Friends.
Great episodes, those. But
Well, that's the thing though with the random topics is you might get something you don't want.
All right.
our first topic is Friends. No, it's not.
The Friends meets Boy meets World.
Doesn't sound random at all.
Boy meets Friends. No, I had this thought the other day, actually. I was sending somebody, one of our previous guests, a primer on Primer.
I think Primer,
it's
but
Primer.
it may actually be Primer. I say Primer.
It should be Primer because
Yeah.
the time travel movie,
Right.
and there's one M.
Great
but,
movie.
No, I was saying, you can choose. We choose a random topic, and that made it sound like when we say we're choosing a random topic that we have like a list of topics and we're like picking one.
Yeah.
But what I want to just, if it's not clear, it's like we're not. It's complete. It's like this.
Well, we do have a list of topics,
Right.
but we have software that is picking it. Like, we're not
Exactly.
looking at the list and then like randomly
it's not
picking
like
one.
we take 10 out and go, you know what, let's go with this one.
Right.
And I guess now that I'm saying out loud, no, it was 100% clear. But
Yeah.
for some reason when I was sending the email, I was like, this doesn't seem. There was something about the
People
word random.
submit
Yeah.
topics, and we pick one at random.
Okay.
Like this random topic from listener Garth.
Hey, thanks, Garth.
Would
Party
Wayne
on.
not write in?
He might have. We don't get two at a time.
That's true. We may have Wayne in there too.
But party on, Garth. Thank you.
Party on Garth, and his topic, not Wayne's World, it is much darker. It is Jeffrey Dahmer is our topic right now.
Jeffrey's World.
Did either of you guys see the movie Get Out?
Yes.
Not
That
yet.
recently just
No.
came out?
No, not yet.
see it.
Without spoiling it, there was a great bit where he's on the phone with his friend, and Jeffrey Dahmer just comes up, and he's just saying he used to fuck people in his heads. Nobody saw it coming. It was really funny. Go see Get Out. Just
That's a great
plug
movie.
I was supposed to see it tomorrow. I'm putting it off to maybe Monday.
You should definitely see it.
I
It's
know,
really,
it's
really
just-
good.
It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying here, people. I saw John Wick 2 instead.
I haven't seen John Wick 2.
it's all right.
Look at us. We're what a mismatched couple, and we can barely podcast and function in our lives. I say that because
Who's Jeffrey Dahmer? What is he? A killer?
You don't know who Jeffrey
No,
Dahmer
I
is?
know who he is.
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
But I don't. There's two things. One,
You ever see the Avengers movie Hawkeye? He was Jeffrey Dahmer.
what?
He played Jeffrey Dahmer in a movie.
Oh, okay. No, so it
was like his
I know
breakout
he's-
role.
case.
I know he's a serial killer, but I don't. The specifics to me are like he's in that pool of like Ed Gein and Ted Bundy. I don't
Right.
know.
He's
what's-
one who ate them.
Yes,
Okay,
he was a
I didn't know
cannibal
his
killer.
MO and I didn't know his time frame, and the fact that he ate them is interesting because I also always get him confused with the Donner Party.
Right. I guess if your last name is Dahmer, you just are predisposed to eat people.
Either
maybe
that or direct Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah, it could be. So looking at his Wikipedia.
So like the Donner Party, they were heading wagons west, and they got trapped, and they ate each other because they starving.
survival.
Yeah. So I got that. I learned that very recently. I thought it was like some kind of party Jeffrey Dahmer threw and then ate the people.
The Dahmer party.
Yeah.
I could see that. I just brought up Jeffrey Dahmer's Wikipedia page, which is locked for edits, by the way, so we can't
they knew.
vandalize
They
it or
knew.
anything. Very interesting paragraphs here. Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, was an American serial killer and sex offender.
Hey.
Double threat. He committed the rape, murder, and dismemberment of 17
triple
men and
threat.
boys between 1978 and
boys.
1991. Many of his later murders involved necrophilia, cannibalism, and the permanent preservation of body parts, typically all or part of the skeletal structure.
Wow. That's,
Fucked up guy.
that wrote this Wikipedia article? Yes.
Yeah, I think so. And then jumping down a little bit, on November 28th, 1994, Dahmer was beaten to death by a fellow inmate at the
Oh, yeah.
Columbia
I remember that.
Correctional
Like a
Institute.
broom or something, right?
Yeah,
Now,
I
what's
mean,
that about? Do you think some family paid him off?
I think just,
Some, like
No, like if
sex offenders, my understanding is
that's
they
right,
don't
'cause
do
he did
well.
those
Yeah, no,
little
they don't do
kids.
very
They
All
don't
right.
do well in
I
prison.
forgot that it was little kids because I was about to say I know that pedophiles do very poorly in prison because
Right.
you got these
There's no justice like prison
right, hardened
justice.
criminals. They got kids at home. They got a heart and they take it out on the guy. But
Yeah.
it seemed weird that a convict would be like, oh, I hate serial killers. I'm gonna beat this one up. But yeah, all right. The child
Yeah.
rape makes it make that's the that's
child rape makes sense.
That fills in the algebra.
Yeah.
So it's early '90s. I didn't realize it was that recent.
I knew that he was caught in the early 90s,
Okay, 'cause
like
I remember
91,
growing up,
92.
he was already a thing. So I'm surprised it was.
Let's look
that
here.
recent.
When was Jeffrey Dahmer caught? He was sentenced to 15 terms of life imprisonment on February 15th, 1992.
Now I got a question for you.
You got it.
This Wikipedia this really creepy Wikipedia author
Yeah.
said he killed all these people, raped these boys and men, and then later did such crazy acts as necrophilia.
Yeah.
Now to me that's not like an escalation. So I got to ask you, what's worse, necrophilia or murder? Like necrophilia is horrible. It's disgusting. The very thought of
I mean,
me
it's
having
not really
sex with a
you're not really
corpse.
offending anybody if it's
Right.
already dead.
Yeah,
It
I
offends
kind of
me.
agree.
It offends me if I'm
necrophilia is-
having sex with a dead body.
Necrophilia is
It's
gross.
disgusting.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it, there may be something wrong with
Right.
you.
But
But you're not hurting anybody
Right.
else directly, at least.
Sin-wise, it's you're hurting the universe much less.
Right.
Yeah.
If you kill somebody, you've taken a life. If you have sex with a corpse, you're just making good use of what you have. It's recycling. It's recycling.
Every part of the buffalo.
Exactly.
Isn't that because the Native Americans would fuck the buffalo after it
Absolutely.
died? Isn't that where that phrase came
Yeah,
from?
of course. Fuck the buffalo. What, you haven't heard about this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. I think the difference is like if you see somebody committing murder, you're gonna call the cops.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you see somebody committing necrophilia, you're just gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I think that's why it's not as serious of a crime.
I've never thought about what I would do if I saw someone committing necrophilia.
Yeah,
You know
I mean,
what? They say if
And I
you're-
hang out in graveyards
they say,
at night.
They say if you're a woman and you're walking in a bad neighborhood and a man starts to sexually assault you, don't yell rape because people will ignore you or run away.
Right,
Yell
yell fire. Yeah.
But honestly, when I see if I see a fire, I'm usually like, I'm not gonna call 911. I don't want to get involved, and I walk away from fires. I think you should yell out necrophilia because everybody's gonna come and like look.
Everyone's going to be like, what?
No way.
I am
Let me
aghast.
look at this on my Snapchat glasses. Beep. Yeah. So women, people say they don't learn anything listening to 90s Percentile.
I think you learn something every week.
If you are being raped in an alley, just start yelling necrophilia, and it has the added bonus of maybe the rapist will just be like, "What's this chick's problem?"
Yeah, right.
I'll go rape somebody else. I don't know.
That's the way to do it.
I've
That's
never-
what they teach in those rape courses. You get a whistle and you yell necrophilia.
That's what they should teach.
That's
It's
what
better
they
than
teach.
fire.
It's better than necrophilia. It's better than fire. You heard it here first, folks.
There's your next fake promo for Adult Swim.
If they pay for it, I'll make whatever they want.
Absolutely. I want to point out, you guys, well, Jack, Joe, you probably don't know because we only met 15 minutes before we started recording the show, but I'm a big
Correct.
comic fan. There was actually a really good comic called My Friend Jeffrey, I think it's what it's called. And it was one of these like indie slice of life comics. The guy who wrote and drew it went to grade school with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, that's creepy.
And it was just all about how weird Jeffrey Dahmer was as a kid. I recommend it.
What was some weird things he did?
Yeah, what do you do?
He would like, it's not super weird.
He'd kill other kids and fuck them in the skull.
Yeah,
There's something wrong with this Jeffrey.
just like normal kid
That
stuff.
Jeffrey ain't right. I don't want you hanging around with Jeffrey anymore. I hate you, Dad.
I'll trade you my fruit roll up for this human face.
I mean, it was more like he would like, fuck with bugs and stuff and like torture bugs, and he was picked on a lot as a kid, and just you kind of see like, oh, this is where he got all the necrophilia and murder.
Yeah, if you're torturing like dogs and cats at a young age, you're predestined to be a serial killer. Bugs, I magnified glassed a few ants in my day.
If I remember right, I think Jeffrey Dahmer, there may have been an allegation that he was gay. And that may have also contributed to the bullying because this was the late 70s, early 80s, whenever it was. And it didn't go well for poor little Jeff.
And so, again, I don't know that much about him,
Yeah.
but
There is a movie where Jeremy Renner plays Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay, but compared to like Ted Bundy and Ed Gein, or maybe not even so much different from them.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some kind of, especially now that I know it was the 91 to 94 era, there seems to be some kind of weird pop culture fascination with the guy. Not like an outright, the serial killer, fuck this guy, like America's most hated person.
Yeah.
It's almost just like they're having fun with this. Like, oh my God, we got a crazy serial killer. Look at this.
I mean, Get Out came out last month, and there was a reference to Jeffrey Dahmer in there. He's kind of the go-to
Right.
serial killer.
Maybe this is because I just
Ted
finished.
Bundy.
Yeah. Well, Ted Bundy, I feel like, is now associated with...
See, now I've seen that movie with Mark Harmon as Ted Bundy, so I know a little bit about him.
Ted Bundy, I mean, he was a shoe salesman and he worked in the mall.
He's like
and
the
he sat on the couch and he was married to Peg.
Yeah.
And
He's the quintessential, like, regular guy serial killer, right?
Right.
The Dexter.
yeah.
Yeah, he was like a smooth talker.
Right, yeah. So he's the guy that, I would have never suspected, whereas it sounds like Jeffrey Dahmer, you would have gone,
I think
that
everybody
makes sense.
suspected.
Oh, the skull fucker? Yeah, I totally knew that.
I assumed he got those skulls from somewhere. But no, I just watched Made in America, the
OJ doc.
OJ doc. So I'm
Academy Award winner.
I literally just finished it last night. I was watching it over the course of like a week and a half. So this might just be peppering all of my thoughts right now. But it seems to be in the early 90s, but also all the time. We just had this weird fascination with like crime and murder. OJ's different because he's one of the biggest celebrities ever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like these aren't the right words for it, but it's almost like we're having more fun with the Jeffrey Dahmer mythos.
I
And I
feel
don't mean
like-
fun like making references in movies. Like,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
that, we make 9/11 jokes. That's not the same thing. It's just more. I don't know, more fascination and less disgust.
I feel like true crime as like a genre goes through a lot of peaks and valleys. When I think we're in a peak now with Serial and the Jinx and Making
Also,
of a Murderer.
watching Made in America, now I was like, oh, this kid in Serial totally did it. It's like, why are we fucking around with this ridiculous evidence?
Now, why do you think that?
Because the
Poor
evidence,
Adnan.
the evidence against him is so predominant.
But what about the Best Buy parking lot, Jack?
But that's what I'm saying. Like the O.J. Simpson shit, they had like same like things like that. Well, what about this? It's like no. Just because you have like one, this isn't Perry Mason. Just because you have like one hole in your gap of logic doesn't mean the 99% of like shovels in your trunks and people who said you did it.
Well, if I can get Lala for a real quick second.
Reasonable doubt. I know.
Well, no, not even that. I was going to say a lot of people, especially nowadays after Law and Order and CSI and things, a lot of people who are jury members, they want like a complete 100% case, like with there's direct evidence, like this guy did it.
Because on Law and Order, they always have somebody at the
Because
last
there's
minute
always
go,
like
I did it.
Exactly.
That
Where there's
doesn't
like one
happen in
piece of evidence that like inextricably ties the guy there, but it's not. Oh, it's very
Never
rarely like
yeah.
that.
Also, if you
it's
ever,
almost always circumstantial.
Here's some more advice.
Yeah.
This is a learning podcast.
Absolutely.
If you ever get arrested for something you did, don't admit it. No matter how good,
admissible in court.
No matter how good this lawyer's presentation is, while you're at the end of the trial and it's looking good, don't confess. Just keep your mouth shut. You'll get away with it.
All right, I did it.
Exactly. Who does that? What you're telling me as a law is nobody.
Yeah, no one does that.
In real life.
And sometimes murderers walk.
Yeah.
Look at OJ.
But anyway, Made in America made me much more skeptical about Adnan.
Yeah, I guess I can hear that. If you haven't seen Made in America, it is terrific.
Serial you could skip.
I have not.
Well, Joe, it's terrific.
OJ, it's really interesting, especially this like the trial stuff. I know by heart just from living it, but the OJ in like the early 2000s before he got arrested was fucking. It was fucked
insane.
up. Like he just like stopped giving a shit. And there's a rap. Oh, we'll look up the rap video. I bet you can find it. He did a rap
OJ
video.
rap?
He was doing sketches. Like he was dressing up in makeup and just making like he was doing shit that we were doing.
He was doing a prank show called Juiced.
Yeah.
Where he was going around L.A. and going up
that
to
was
cars.
real?
Yeah.
Someone told me that and I thought it was a joke.
No, that was
it's
real. He was like selling oranges to people in cars and being like, "Hey, you want to buy an orange from OJ?"
But, like,
and
how is
people
that
were just
getting
like,
juiced?
"Please get away! You are a murderer."
How is that getting juiced? Like, if you get punked, it's like, oh my god, my car got towed.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. But if it's like, hey, you want some juice? I'm OJ. How is that getting juiced?
Unless he throws it on you.
I don't know. I mean,
the other, I could talk about Made in America all day, and we'll probably get to OJ eventually.
He's
the other
definitely
thing
in there.
was how freaked out Wendy Williams was, the radio DJ,
Yes,
when she was
that was-
talking to him.
yeah.
Because she's like, you're so charming, I like you. And at one point he goes, I'm all right. And he gives a hug her, and she like
she's
cringed.
just like, yeah.
She
just
cringed
like,
because this man murdered two people,
Yeah.
and he's hugging her.
Yeah. I mean, he was acquitted, but he did it.
Yeah, no, he
wrote a book
That
called
was the other thing.
If I Did It.
I wasn't really an expert, but I kind of just assumed he did it. And then watching this, it's like, oh my god, this is how did he get acquitted? I mean, the movie
Well,
tells you how
exactly.
but still, it was just all right. So where could this rap video be? Do you think it's not on YouTube?
I don't know.
Is it called Get Juiced?
Is it called Get Juiced? It might be.
All right, we'll give this a shot. This doesn't look like a video.
It's a virus.
Oh no! I've just ruined my other computer.
Yeah, well, we're waiting for that to load.
And then I'm pretty much good on Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know.
I mean, name another serial killer from the past, like, 20 to 30 years.
Yeah, they kind of went out of style.
They kind of went out
No,
of
they
style.
just caught the whatever.
Robert
river-
Durst?
Craigslist killer.
The Craigslist
something
killer.
River Killer. What's his name?
I
He
don't know.
killed like hundreds of people, and they finally caught him. And he was a guy who was interviewed on a news special about catching the guy, and he was like one of like the cops or something.
I have completely
the
missed
Green
this.
River
Yeah,
Killer.
Green River
Oh,
Killer.
I actually on Fresh Air with Terry Gross. I heard about the guy that his dad was like like it was like a movie. Like this detective was hunting him down for decades, and I think he died. I don't know, but the kid wrote a book about it.
I've never heard of this guy. He's the
Gary
Green
Ridgway.
He's
River
like
Killer.
supposedly like the most prolific serial killer in history.
48. He's convicted of 48 murders. Confessed to twice that number. I remember this guy. Yeah,
He looks kind of like Gary Oldman.
he does
Like Gary Oldman would play him in a movie for sure.
If he was a little person.
You talk about Tiptoes?
Yeah, I'm talking about. That's what it's called. I was thinking Tootsies.
No, Tootsie's a good movie. Okay, so
He murdered a shit ton of
He
people.
murdered
You're
a
right.
lot of
I'm
people.
surprised there isn't a big Oscar bait movie about this.
I can only
Oh my
imagine
God,
that they're
I
working
don't
on
need to
it.
see the names of the people he killed. That's
He killed
disconcerting.
almost exclusively women, it looks like, too.
Like a man.
Oh, dear.
But
yeah.
nobody knew about him because he didn't skull fuck them. I think that's why.
That's how you get away
So
with
That's
it.
Was
why
he-
Dahmer was so much
Was
more
he another?
present.
Was he another like blend into?
Yeah, he didn't butt off more than he could chew. He just
There
killed
are
him.
several documentaries about him.
Shit, there's stuff about him in the '80s when they had no idea who he was yet.
Huh.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff about him.
I mean, I just brought up that true crime's
that
having a
shuts
big
us up.
renaissance, but I'm actually not that into true crime. I like the Jinx a lot, and I loved OJ Made in America. But I wasn't crazy about serial.
Like Durst seems less serial killer to me and more like guy who's killed a series of people. Yes, but like it just like.
I mean,
it's not his thing. He just kind of killed. He's like, "Oops, I killed another one."
Oops,
like,
I killed them
He
again.
keeps like falling into the cycle of killing people.
They call me the Jinx.
Like to me, a serial killer is like a guy that's like, I'm gonna go out and kill people at regular intervals.
I think, well, in a way, Durst is scarier because he's almost like a normal
Right,
person
right.
until he starts burping and confessing to murders on hidden microphones. All right, so we have OJ's music video
It's
here.
not working though.
It's not working.
It's almost as if the internet doesn't want us to listen to O.J. Simpson rap.
I think that might be true.
I can't believe there's like not a lot of clips of it.
And I got the most
there we go.
with 200 plus.
I know, but I wanted to show Joe the video because I mean I know the listeners can't see it, but the video is so awkward.
It's
Better
insane.
shoot me with a tranquilizer dart. Don't be fool, stupid. I'm not a Simpson named Bart. I'm not a cartoon. You silly baboon. Like
He's not a Simpson named Bart.
Now-
the only way I
Who bought this album?
It's like when your parents like pretend rap.
Yeah. It's like, well, my name is
I feel
Mom,
like
and
every
I'm here
song
to
starts
say.
with him introducing himself.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like,
I can't believe he has
This
it has
came
more.
out in an era when people actually bought CDs. And the song is objectively terrible.
And it seems to be about how he gets
It
away
was
with
written by a
murder.
murderer. Yeah.
2-3. When we needed a big play, the ball came to me. So all you player haters and you sucker MCs, you better get on your knees and get some of these.
So,
Did they say get some of these nuts? Is that what that just
Now
happened?
it comes down to just one
well,
decision.
you know, watching Made in America, it was I really could go into it, but basically, he
Yeah.
lived the first four decades of his life. He lived his adult life as like a white guy. You know,
Right.
he didn't consider himself black. I'm not black. I'm OJ. That famous line.
Yes.
And you know, he had a very privileged life, and then he had to. Lean into the race to win the trial.
Yeah.
So then after that, he was hanging out with more black people, and I was watching him in the early 2000s, and I noticed he was like using. Again, he sounded like a white dad in the way he was using slang, like black slang, because
Right. It's unnatural.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if like his rap lyrics are off by 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And has no talent.
I mean,
discernible talent.
they're awful.
But he did shit like this, and he did the juice, and he did the pranks and the sketches. I think to
Yeah.
make money.
No, he definitely did.
He was
I mean,
like he was
he was-
desperately trying to get money, and not to pay off the Goldmans. He was keeping the money.
right. He needed to live. I mean,
Yeah.
he was accustomed to a certain lifestyle. He was a
Right.
millionaire. He lived in Brentwood, one of the fanciest parts of LA.
So
and
you feel bad for him, is what you're saying?
no,
Dan Mulhall.
I just really like those Naked Gun movies.
He's so good.
Norberg, he's so
in 'em.
good.
God, the airport scene.
He's so good in them.
All right, I think that's just about enough of the juice.
There's some opera in there.
Now, do you have Jeffrey Dahmer's rap album? Is that available on YouTube? Fucked. I ripped off their hands and fucked them. It's just that over and over again.
My name is Jeff, and I'm here to say I killed a bunch of people because I may be gay.
It's sad because it's true, and also funny because it's true.
But our hearts go out to the victims.
Of course.
This is how we make money, right?
This is how we make money. We talk about serial killers on a fun, lighthearted 90s podcast.
Text OK at 56892, and it'll give us an automatic $10 donation, of which we will give none to the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer.
And then text juiced to 555 Simpson.
And OJ's gonna come and get you.
That's right.
Actually, he's up
OJ's
for parole.
up for parole this year, yeah.
which is, and he'll probably get it. And it's kind of fucked up that he served like 9 years in prison for a double murder.
Here's the thing. So OJ's been in prison, like you just said, for 9 years for an unrelated crime. He robbed a sports memorabilia store to get back his trophies and
Hotel
stuff. Yeah, with a gun. It's all Made in America. You should watch it. It's excellent. But the world that OJ left 9 years ago and the world that we're in now are pretty
he's
different.
not going to know how to play Angry Birds.
He's not going to know how to play. That was my first thought too. Like he's going to be like, why are these birds so angry? Why do these pigs take their eggs? Luckily, there's a movie he can watch. He can watch the Angry Birds movie. But I think what I'm concerned about is he going to come out of prison and then get like a reality show?
He might do that shit because totally fits his personality.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a very funny clip of him, or like a story where they watched the first episode of Kim Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And he's like, "That's my goddaughter," and that show's never gonna last because he had no
Yeah.
idea of like,
right.
of
He
how Hollywood
doesn't
works.
know what this is.
But I could see that, but I could also he reminds me of my crack addict uncle. And at a certain point, he's still the same scumbag, but he's in his 60s now, and he's just too fucking old for that shit. So
Yeah.
I could maybe see him being just so old.
Well, if you're the big enough scumbag, age doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Also
You'll
true.
Just keep doing it.
But also,
Mickey Rourke.
he's going to need money.
think
I
he's-
assume OJ doesn't have money anymore.
You don't think so? I, feel
I don't
like
think
he's-
so.
I feel like I guess that.
I mean, he lost his civil suit against the Goldmans, so
Right,
he had
right.
to pay them a lot of money.
and they never made Naked Gun 4.
They never made Naked Gun 4.
He was really hoping for it.
You know, now might be the time because Leslie Nielsen is long dead and OJ is a convicted criminal.
It's perfect.
It's
time for-
perfect.
ripe for a remake.
Yeah.
It's just starring Priscilla Presley and the convicted
And
felon.
and OJ.
We can use that river killer.
There you go.
As normal. Norman always has to be played by a serial killer.
We've done it. We cracked the code
So
of the Naked
before
Gun.
we go to our next topic, YouTube automatically started playing this video, and we got to take a look.
Yeah.
Watch O.J. Simpson prank people on long lost TV show,
Oh, boy.
2006.
This is OJ. How can I help you?
Check this out. It's Simpson selling a white Bronco at a Las Vegas used car
pretty funny.
dealership.
I can
But
guarantee you the car has escapability.
He even autographed a
Think
bullet
about
hole
being
in
the guy.
Bronco.
This is a Bronco signed by OJ.
That's terrible that he's making fun of the mother of his children's death. But imagine being the other person on the end of that conversation.
That's a really funny idea. OJ selling a Bronco, but it's not funny if OJ's the one actually
he's not
doing
very
it. Like, it's a
charming.
great
He
skit.
doesn't
Right.
have a lot of comedic.
Yeah. Well, not even that. He's also a murderer who used that
It
to
was a
escape the
ripoff of
police.
Ashton Kutcher's then popular MTV
Yeah, and his
show,
his
Punk'd.
wife
Each
died.
segment of Juice
The mother of his
ended with
kids.
Right, he murdered his
Simpson
wife.
selling
Even if somehow he wasn't,
There was
We've
an
been juiced,
uproar.
guys.
even if he somehow didn't do it, you don't mock that.
Right.
We can mock it.
We can
We
mock
don't know
it.
the people involved. We
Right,
have no
yeah.
emotional investment.
Plus, we're trying to put out a bad show to make money, and it's, with
need
varying
OJ
degrees of
on the
success.
show.
Let's get OJ.
90s percentile.
Doesn't get more 90s than OJ.
That's our reboot. Ungloved.
Ungloved.
Oh, God.
That's our reboot. 90s percentile featuring O.J. Simpson. All right, let's go to another topic.
All right,
I'm
let's
tired
do
of
it.
Talking about murderers.
Joe, you're done talking about murderers, too?
think
You're,
so,
you're our
yeah.
guest, so you
you wanna
decide
keep
when the
talking about
murderers are over.
murderers.
I don't know anymore, but I feel like the next topic's going to be another one. So
All right, the topic is OJ. Actually, that was a joke that I was going to say no matter what. The actual topic that came up is Friends, which Joe said he knows nothing
I
about.
don't know anything about Friends.
Plus, we've already talked
We've
about
already
Friends.
talked about
so
Friends.
I'm gonna.
But who suggested it?
It was Heather.
So thank you, Heather.
So thank you, Heather.
Check back our previous episode with a Friends expert, Erin Valerie Long from
Yeah.
the Best of Friends podcast.
Yes, if it was a specific
we
episode
don't
of Friends.
talk about OJ on that.
Did we may have? I don't remember.
We did OJ, 9/11.
OJ comes up a
Trump,
lot.
They all come up.
All right, so here we go
All the
with
atrocities.
an actual topic here that we can really do. It is from Anthony Dolan. So thank you, Anthony.
Isn't that Cardinal Dolan from the Arch?
Yeah, it's Cardinal Dolan.
the
The
Archbishop
topic
of
is
New York.
Jesus. No, the topic is Hercules and Xena.
Oh,
Guys,
Joe, do you
that
have-
just brings me straight to my grandma's house. That's what that does. My
Like
parents are
Sunday
still working,
afternoon?
and grandma's watching me. And I already finished my homework, so now Xena.
Yeah,
That was
I have an embarrassing confession to make.
you masturbated to both of them constantly.
That is not embarrassing. Kevin Sorbo was chiseled from marble, Jack.
He is a handsome fella.
I've never seen a single episode of either show, which is
Really?
sad because it's totally up my alley. I know Bruce Campbell had a recurring role. It was like Sam Raimi was one of the
Oh, I
creators.
didn't know Sam Raimi was
He was.
involved.
so
Yeah.
that means you never saw the dance-off episode.
That explains
saw it.
why Ted.
I never saw a
Ted
single
Raimi, Ted
episode.
Raimi was in Xena, right?
I think he was something in somewhere.
I'm a big fan of Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi's younger brother, because
Yeah.
he had a starring role in all 3 seasons of Sequest. So, and he shows up in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah,
and-
he was J. Jonah Jameson's assistant.
Yeah, but he was one of my favorite characters on. He was the nerd on Sequest, so
Yeah.
I could relate.
But it seems like you both watched at least
No,
some
I've
of
never
these
seen
shows.
a single
Oh,
episode.
you've never seen any
Yeah,
either?
no.
All right. So,
I've seen the most of these shows.
Joe, you are our
I
resident
haven't
Hercules
seen that much of it.
and
I
Xena
couldn't
expert.
tell you. Okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know everything. Can you start at the beginning?
Xena has this like metal disc she can throw.
Okay.
it's like a ring.
Sounds a lot like Captain America.
Sounds like a
It's
Dark
like a
Tower.
razor blade ring she can throw. It's like her main weapon.
That sounds
Okay, that's
exactly
pretty
like
awesome.
Dark Tower.
And
That's pretty
Hercules'
awesome.
main weapon is his super strength. And they just go around the
They don't
it's
really
usually like a
interact.
forest thing. And they try to find trouble.
Right, it
and
is
they-
often forest. There's no
Yeah.
forest
There's not
in
a lot of
Greece.
forests in Greece, and especially
Sherwood
ancient
Forest
Athens.
in Greece.
Yeah,
Where did they shoot it? Canada?
probably. I mean, we can look that up.
So, but they don't really
It looks
interact,
Canadian.
right? They've had a couple.
No, I think they had crossover episodes like
but
twice.
But they're separate.
They're separate shows.
Xena's a spinoff.
Xena, Hercules always goes around with. I feel like he has a sidekick of some kind. I can't remember who it is. And then Xena has this blonde lady who's with her all
Right.
the time.
And there's
it-
been talks of a reboot with both of them.
I always kind of felt like it was like a, like will they kind of thing.
Yeah. Did they?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Supposedly, they said, like how Dumbledore's gay. They said after the show ended, it's canon that they were lovers.
Oh.
I I feel like I read that somewhere.
So apparently Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, the full title of the series, it's set in a fantasy version of ancient Greece, not precisely located in historical time, and it also has a mixture of Oriental, Egyptian, and medieval elements
So
in
do you mean
various
like
episodes.
fantasy, not in a historical time like Narnia or Game of Thrones, where it's not 200 BC. It's just some other universe.
I guess, yeah, it must be. So it's just, it's the Hercules we know.
It's a parallel Greece.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cool.
It seems like a great show. Like, I would probably really like both of them if I watched them now.
Xena is considered much better, right? Or did more people just
really?
watch it because boobies?
I remember watching one episode of Hercules and just being like, this show's terrible. But I think it was a very late one where they basically just gave up and they were like, all right, Hercules is going to the future in this episode.
Yeah.
To wear like jeans and enter like a square dancing
Wait, he
competition.
really went into like they showed like present day America?
Yeah, he was in like a flannel shirt and like jeans.
Yeah.
He had to enter like a dance contest and win it.
That's amazing.
All right, I'm going to start with that episode. That's the entry point for me
That was
into
when I was just
Hercules.
like, I gotta start doing something else when I'm at grandma's house.
Yeah. And Xena, I'm looking on Wikipedia, Xena was a spin-off of Hercules, of course, and there was also another spin-off
Really?
called Young Hercules. Are you familiar with this show?
No.
And its star, a little Academy Award nominee, Mr. Ryan Gosling, played Young Hercules.
Oh.
Did you guys know this?
Did not.
I knew this, but I looked it up
He's
and
probably
just saw it
a
here.
dick on set.
Why do you say that? Look at cute little
Oh,
young
okay.
Ryan
Yeah,
Gosling.
he's very handsome.
Look at that.
Why is there a line between it, like it's Stranger Things?
I don't know.
Did he dance the Dancing Queen?
I don't know. I don't know where the hell I saw
No.
this.
Somebody just put Dancing Queen to his dance moves, I think. I can't. Why can't I find anything on YouTube today?
Oh no, did I mess this up?
I used to
Did
be
it not happen?
I used to be such a
This
good.
kiss is impossible.
I used to be such a good Googler.
Unless a very confused young Joe was watching TV and saw Kevin Sorbo in a dance contest and assumed it was Hercules. that could be very
that
real.
could happen.
That could be a very real thing that happened.
What was it, a square dance?
Yeah, it was like a southern like dancing thing. I swear to God, I saw Kevin Sorbo in jeans like dancing.
I could imagine an episode where Hercules comes to the present, the then present of 1995, and square dances to "Achy Breaky Heart," and it would probably be the most 90
it's like
thing
when Star Trek's
90
out
thing
of
possible.
ideas and they have them go to the future
Yeah,
and
right.
do something.
I'm not doubting you, but I cannot find it. On Google.
I don't know.
Kevin Sorbo now, I believe, is a fairly staunch conservative. Is that accurate?
Sounds about
I
right.
feel like
he went Chuck Norris.
I feel like he went the Chuck Norris route. Yeah. Maybe that's a rule.
They
If you're
look
on
kinda similar.
if you're on like a syndicated action show, you have to become a conservative later in life.
Or what's Pam Anderson's thing? She's not anti-vaccines, right? She's
I don't know.
anti-feminism. She's something ridiculous.
She is something ridiculous. Let me tell you something.
You guys know about the disappointed meme, right?
No.
I don't know about it.
Oh, we used this all the time back in the GIF days, the GIF days. So there's an episode where an evil Hercules.
I figured that's what this was because he has a goatee.
Yeah, he has a goatee. So evil Hercules somehow wakes up in this world, or the good Hercules world.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta find the clip. So he says the word disappointed, and that's
Oh,
it.
does he just go disappointed?
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen it parodied in things.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and people, he says it in such a weird inflection that a lot of people believe he wasn't supposed to read it. It was the parenthetical in the script. And it was
That's amazing.
But he's asked about it all the time now.
That's
And
amazing.
he says that's not the case. It's he actually had
Of course he would.
He had a good excuse for it.
I have to point out real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You attempted to Google Hercules disappointed, but you actually Googled Hercules disappointed, which I think is just funny.
Her clue's disappointed, like she's a
Why
bad
did
detective.
Hercules disappoint us?
Oh, I had it, and then you made me laugh, and I lost it.
That's what all of our listeners are saying too.
We're back on this
God.
dance contest again. Let's see here.
You know, Jack, we're happy to have Hercules in my corner. He backed me during the campaign.
All right, here it comes.
We're going to make ancient Greece great again.
Wait a minute. This isn't my world. Disappointed!
That is amazing. That's fantastic. Yeah, that definitely seems like he would have read the wrong piece.
I really wish it would take up too much time on this live show. There it is, right there. Kevin Sorbo explains why he really.
It literally came up next on YouTube. But
YouTube making me look like an asshole.
Yeah, it does that.
to be here. Thank you. Thanks, Eddie Murphy. I
I
appreciate
see.
it.
At that time, I thought you still lived here. I was like, oh, studio.
I don't even know what this is. Is this
Some
like a
radio
This thing
interview.
went viral.
Yeah.
Extreme.
And he's gone through this, Stargate portal to get there. And he finds out that he goes, I'm not in my land. This isn't my place.
Yeah, we get that.
And then I'm a big fan of Kevin Kline in A Fish Called Wanda.
That's it.
And he says it 2 or 3 times in A Fish Called Wanda. So I just ad-libbed and threw it in. But people think that there was a line
it's actually a
there
really cool
that in parentheses
inside
said,
joke.
Say it in
Yeah,
a
I kinda
disappointed
like
way,
that.
And they thought that I misread it or something.
And that you were reading
which is
the
insane.
emotion.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
I guess that does make sense because he didn't say disappointed. This isn't my world,
Right.
and that's how it would have been in the
Right.
script. Well, that's awesome. And A Fish Called Wanda is a great movie. If you've never seen it,
I've never seen it.
oh, it's a great movie.
Hey,
There you go.
there, right?
So I don't know what.
That's pretty much all I remember about Hercules and Xena.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else we can say about them, considering the two hosts of the show have never seen a single episode. I do know I have watched every episode of the show Jack of All Trades, if you guys remember that one.
No.
Nope.
That was Bruce Campbell's show in the same vein, where he played a guy named Jack. So it was up your alley, Jack.
I can relate.
And it was during the 1800s in France. He was kind of like a swashbuckler, and he would fight Napoleon all the time. And Napoleon was played by Vern Troyer, Mini-Me from Austin Powers, because Napoleon was short.
So that, and then he also did The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Yes.
So did Sam Raimi before Spider-Man and after Evil Dead? Did he just make his bread and butter doing like syndicated hour-long, fairly comedic action shows?
Well, so Sam Raimi had nothing to do with Briscoe County Jr.
Oh, really?
That was Carlton Cuse.
Really?
Yeah.
I just assumed because Bruce Campbell.
No. But Sam Raimi was definitely responsible for all of these weird syndicated action shows. But Sam Raimi had a solid pre-Spider-Man 90s
Yeah, you're
lineup.
right. Yeah, Quick and the Dead.
Quick and the Dead is an okay movie,
Dead
but
Man.
Dark Man.
Dark Man.
Dark
yeah.
Man is a great movie. The Gift I've never seen, but
I've
that's a
never-
movie he
Somebody
made.
was like, somebody
Actually,
like,
A Simple Plan is a really good movie.
oh, he did that?
Yeah.
I just listened to Bill Paxton on Fresh Air with Terry Gross.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he was he was dying to do Simple Plan. Like that was his passion project.
Yeah.
And it sounds awesome. Some students at my school were like pushing The Gift on me. Somebody was pushing The Gift. They're like, you gotta see The Gift.
The only thing I know about The Gift is that Katie Holmes' boobs are in it. And I only know that from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Which I've never seen.
You have not seen a lot of movies, Jack.
No.
I've seen none of what you're talking about.
Man.
So I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Do you still want to pick a random topic
I
from
hear,
the show?
I hear words happening and was like, okay, I guess
Yeah.
that's an actor.
Dark Man's with Liam Neeson. I've never
Dark Man is
seen the
a
whole
great fucking
thing.
movie. Oh, my
It's just
God.
it's just a superhero movie, right?
It is basically Sam Raimi's Batman,
Right.
but it's awesome. Oh, it's so good. Frances McDormand is in it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You... Gotta watch Dark Man.
Disappointed.
Disappointed. Listeners, write in and tell us how much you like Dark Man.
Well, I'm
Do
sure
it.
they
Just-
will.
just
no,
do it.
I've heard great things. I mean, if it's from the director of Spider-Man 3, it must be.
How good's that pie? So good.
Was Spider-Man 3 the
Spider-Man
dancing
3.
one?
It sure is.
Or Joe, you're making this up again. Spider-Man never went to dance.
Why do I keep seeing dancing
He
everywhere?
does that square dance to
Yeah, he does a square dance to win a Western competition or some
He's
sort.
in Tobey Maguire's in a flannel jacket and jeans.
The Southerners are taking over the city. Quick, do a dance.
Now, imagining Tobey Maguire in his like emo Spider-Man outfit from Spider-Man 3 doing a square dance to Turkey in the Straw for some reason. Just
That's my favorite Wii music tune to play.
That's a good one.
Joe, when you finally do your first feature, you better have a square dancing scene.
Yeah,
An inappropriate square dancing scene.
Definitely if I do a
yourself.
half an hour fantasy drama.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Me and Joe took a bunch of classes together at film school, and I gotta mention this. You probably forgot about this, but one of the hardest I ever laughed. So we took a screenwriting class together, and we had to, they put it up on the wall, and we all do table reads of each other's screenplays. And you wrote a feature about, I think it intercut from the present and the past, but it opens with two cavemen.
Oh, yeah,
And they're
yeah.
walking. And so, like, he sets it up. The stage directions, like, exterior, desert, two cavemen walking. And the first line of the dialogue, it says, like, grok. Fuck. And after hearing your super cut of fucks, it's all coming together.
You've evolved a lot, Joe.
I just love the idea of seeing this, like, period caveman film
yeah.
where the caveman just going, fuck. And I laughed so hard in that class.
That is awesome. All right, so I guess we don't have much else to say about Hercules and Xena. I mean, that's about
I had
it.
an action figure.
Tell us all about it. Tell us
Someone
every
bought it
single
for
thing
me,
about
'cause
it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I clearly didn't watch it. Yeah, they bought it for me and stayed in my box of action figures.
It's
you go.
funny how I definitely remember like. So I mean, I had two different grandmothers. Which is
What?
Yeah.
You weren't
Yeah.
but asexually
and-
reproduced?
Yeah, and one was the one that would pretty much raise me, and like I saw a lot of primetime TV and stuff. I remember her. My other one I would visit on the weekend, so I associate a lot of like syndicated, really crappy Saturday afternoon TV with her. And
Sure.
so I remember like watching a lot of 21 Jump Street,
Okay.
a lot of Coach, a lot of like.
I thought you said crappy shows, not excellent comedy.
But yeah, no, it's funny because the way you like a Hercules totally seems to me to be like a grandma show.
Wait a
Oh, yeah.
minute. I just remembered that they were bringing Coach back. Did that
Yeah.
happen?
No,
Coach
they
back?
canceled it.
They
They realized it
canceled
was
it.
a ridiculous idea. Either that or it was like a big prank on Craig T. Nelson. Some network exec, he fucked his wife once.
Well, I
and-
just had this weird like moment where I felt like I was going senile. I was like, they're bringing Coach back. Wait, did that happen
No,
2
'cause
years
remember,
ago?
I was trying hard to convince you to let us do a Coach podcast for.
Yes, I do
just,
remember that.
Just for the 13 episodes, like a mini series podcast,
Yeah.
and you were like, "What are we going to talk about?" I was like, "Coach."
I think I was on the right side of that
I
one.
don't know. You were like, "How are we going to talk about nothing for an hour?"
Yeah,
I
how's that
showed
gonna
you.
work?
My brother
God.
used to make movies on our dad's camcorder with his action figures, like stop
Nice.
motion movies.
Sure.
Awesome.
And he had a Stargate action figure, and it was like guards with like the wolf masks.
Okay.
And when you take the wolf mask off, it looked exactly like Craig T. Nelson, and we just called that one. We called that one figure Coach.
Please Google this.
And
We have to see this.
he was like the star of all my brother's action figures. It was just called Coach. It was a Stargate guard.
Do you still
Looked
have these
exactly-
videos?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I've been transferring them for him
I
from
bet
VHS
you-
tapes for like 3 years.
that's
Made,
so
he made
cool.
like 200 episodes of this freaking action figure.
That's awesome. I bet that would be popular on YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I mean, not like again. I already said I think you're a great writer, and I'm sure you're a great director. I just put that stuff out on Adult Swim, and people will not
brother's
notice the
Coach
difference.
videos?
Yeah, nobody will
No,
notice the difference.
yeah, that's your brother's Coach videos. Yeah, I think that would.
Coach has an opening and closing monologue every episode.
We have to find this Craig T. Nelson action figure.
Again, that's a tough Google.
Just search Stargate guard action figure. You might get it.
That's what I'm trying to find here.
Yeah, I was searching Craig T. Nelson.
You're not going to
Stargate.
find. You're going to find it.
I don't know if that'll bring it up.
Well, you never know. Sometimes if the entire internet like kind of also thought he looked like Craig T. Nelson.
exactly
What was
like
it? The Wolf Guard?
Yeah, it was like one of those. I don't know, they're in the armor and the masks.
Stargate's
like,
another-
So I think
TV show I
it's
never
probably
watched.
this, right? But we need one
Yeah,
without.
it's one of those
We need
guys.
it
Yeah,
without
yeah.
without the helmet.
All right, well, we'll look up Horus.
Yes, that's the one right there.
We
right
found
there.
it. We found it. It looks exactly like Craig T. Nelson.
So guys,
That's
if
incredible.
you're playing along at home, just Google action figure Stargate Horus, as in Horus.
Yeah.
Not Horus like
Flat horse, like you read.
no, like Horus like the actual name.
Oh, like Horace and Pete.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Horus action figure Stargate, and there's Coach. There he is.
It's amazing. And
And
he's buff. That's Mr. Incredible, Craig T. Nelson. Not,
Yeah.
So, like, what were the was it like? Was he coaching a college football team with
No,
Jerry
it was
Van
like
Dyke?
it was
or-
like a Wolverine was there.
Of course he was.
Lando played a big part, and
Nice.
it eventually became the Lando show. But
I never.
That combines three of my favorite things: Wolverine, Lando Calrissian, and Craig T. Nelson.
I'll bring back
I
a
would
bunch
watch
of his videos.
these.
So one of the big things I did with my action figures, I've also made movies. I made a lot of Batman movies, but I didn't film them. I just they were in my head, and I later started my first screenplays and first stories I wrote were me just reenacting what I was just doing for the last 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I had one called the Miscellaneous Gang, which was later shortened to the Misc Gang.
Of course.
And it was
Miscellaneous is hard to spell.
And my sister had like a doll's baby carriage, like a little baby carriage. So that was their ship. And I came up with this thing called a toy accelerator. It was very similar to Dark Tower, which I'm reading right now. It was
Yeah.
basically a breaking down of worlds, and all the toys came to combine.
Sure.
And it was Wolverine. It was actually Weapon X.
Yeah.
Ray from Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Donatello. Some Hess trucks.
That is a miscellaneous gang.
Yeah, Tasmanian Devil stuck in a car from it was like a Happy Meal toy, and they were like this team that would team up. And I forgot where I was going with the story. I think it might have just been that Wolverine. Oh no! So I was watching the Lego Movie, and that was it. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
somebody just made my childhood.
Yeah.
And like I'm so jealous that they got to do it first. And now what I guess I'm realizing now is I'm not special. Everybody did.
Yeah,
that.
no,
Everybody-
I like would mix all my action figures all the time.
That just bums me out that they got to do it. Those two amazing.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Yeah, it just bums me out that they got to it first.
Well,
'Cause it was
they're
so
good at it.
The Lego Movie was so good.
Oh,
It was-
yeah.
They was
Did you
exactly.
see Lego Batman yet?
Yeah, it was all right.
All right, we'll talk about it.
It's a better title than the Misk Gang.
A little bit.
I wish I could. I probably have them on here, but whatever.
All right, so I think that might do it for whatever our topic was, Hercules and Xena.
Craig T. Nelson.
Our next topic, Craig T. Nelson.
I'm sure Coach is in there.
Knowing our listeners, it probably is. So let's get another 90s topic. So thank you, Anthony, for that one. Let's see what we got at the old generator today.
Wait. Before we do, I'm gonna pause the timer by accident, and then
Oh, wow.
I believe that's the second time the timer's been paused by accident, so this episode might be long.
there it goes. I found one of the stories I digitized. And not just one of the stories, but the origin sequel.
Oh, wow. Miscellaneous
Wow.
Gang, issue 1.
How it started.
My titles, I'm still working on titles. I was more about the content.
I thought that was a cast breakdown.
Now, hang on a second. We're looking now at the table of contents page,
the
which also
miscellaneous
has the indica, the publishing indica, which says by Jack Pacone, pictures by Jack Pacone, published by Jack
Lane.
Jack Lane Agency.
LN period. I had a street sign that said Jack Lane, and I made that my bookstore sign.
Published by Jack Lane Agency and Pacone Publishing. It's good that they were finally able to do a joint venture to bring the Miscellaneous Gang #1 out. That's amazing. Copyright
1993. So, I was 9
So that's
years old.
amazing. Now I want to read off the titles of the chapters. So we got chapter 1, How It Began, which is also the name of the book. So that's a little great. Chapter 2, 3 more bad guys. Chapter 3, 2 more bad guys.
No.
Oh, 2 more good guys.
Oh.
Even better. And then chapter 4, good guys to bad guys. And man, oh man, that's the final chapter. I wonder how it all ended.
So, that's right. So, the concept of the toy accelerator I came up with when I first started playing with my Legos, which was super ironic.
I just love this.
I
Is
think
like
we should just read this
this
out
is
loud.
like the Marvel universe because it starts off. If you read Space Police #1, you would know about the toy accelerator.
So I wrote Space Police Lego
I
stories.
assumed, yeah. Anyway, the toy accelerator is all of my toys. This is a direct quote from the book.
There is a God to the universe.
Yeah, we're just gonna read the story. This is
There
the rest
a
of the
God
podcast
to the
now.
toy accelerator. Me, I control all my toys. You are the leader of all your toys.
This is all written in pencil, by the way.
It's hard to decipher.
It's on backup paper that my grandpa's friend from the Navy from World War II. He was a paper salesman, and he would give us like leftover orange paper.
Oh man.
Once there was a mix-up in the toy accelerator. All different toys met each other. Ray, Ghostbuster. Donatello, Ninja Turtle. Wolverine, X-Man. Bull, farm animal. Inspector Gadget toy. Robin Hood toy. Hess Truck, 1972. Hess Trucks. What is that?
1992.
1992. Little Hess Truck, 1992. Hess Trucks.
It's starting to get disjointed now. There's 2 columns where there was only one before.
It's like House of Leaves. It's very
Yeah.
experimental.
Kind of flows around.
Then it just says, those are the good guys. Now for the bad guys. USSR person wrestler? And that's the only bad guy.
Well, wait for chapter 2.
Oh, okay. That's right. We got to get 3 more bad guys.
Oh, Robin Hood and the Bull already met a long time ago.
They went to a crib.
They went to a crib. They found a car town, too.
Yeah, I had like a Hot Wheels gas station playset that I built into the crib to make it like the controls.
Okay. They put them together. Now there is a first floor, control floor, second floor, and third floor. The diesel dynamometer has a smog shooter.
This reads like 7 Eves.
They add water to it.
All right, we're going to skip ahead. Let's see.
Amazing.
Should we skip to chapter 3? 2 more good guys?
Who are the 2 more good guys? I'm dying to know.
The first line of the previous chapter was amazing. Hurry up, Ray. Twirl faster.
So it was one of those toys where you would wind him up and then press a button and he'd spin around.
That's amazing. Wow.
This is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my entire life.
This is the beginning of chapter 3. 2 more good guys. Something is not good. 2 people are coming out of the hole. Wait, Ray, is that a laser claw? Wolverine? Grease? Is that what that says?
I wrote my sound effects and stuff.
Grease, plop.
Hi, we are good guys. Hi, I am Mraz? Like Jason Mraz?
I guess. The toy didn't have a name. I had to name him.
I'm a wrestler. Did he just say wrestler? This is my friend Taz. He is a Tasmanian devil. In a toy accelerator mix-up, he is stuck in a car. That's
All right,
incredible.
here's the finale. Let's skip ahead to the finale. Chapter 4, good guys to bad guys.
Are you okay? Yes, there's a glow. Zap, ouch, hit again. We obey Yuri. Who's Yuri?
Who the hell
He's
is Yuri?
the good wrestler
Oh, okay.
from Iran.
Oh, the Russian.
No, that's... Oh, maybe Yuri is the bad wrestler. I don't remember. I don't remember their names.
Starting to fall apart in the last
There's
chapter,
a good wrestler
Jack.
and a bad wrestler.
Oh no, run, it might be contagious. I think it's Wolverine.
Wolverine might be contagious.
Oh, that's fantastic. Mraz?
And then are these the last lines? No, look, scroll down. I got to know what the last lines of this genuinely fascinating
The
tale
final
are.
paragraph.
Mraz, you always beat me, but now, bang, I cheat. Ow, my arm. A little bullet. Anyway, you always cheated. Punch? Sure. Berry or citrus? I call it fist punch. Bonk. Uri is stinky. I need help. 2 S's against 3. Boom, crash, ladder away. Boing, a flying truck. Boink, right through the ground. And that is it for that little story. Amazing.
That's the end.
That's incredible. I don't even know what else we can do here. Is this the end of the show? Do we have more time on the
We
clock?
got 4 minutes left.
All right, we got 4 minutes left.
Should we do another lightning topic?
You want to do a lightning topic? Joe, it's up to you. What do you want to do?
Sure, I know a lot about lightning.
All right, here we go. Lyle submitted this topic. It is the death of Bob Ross. Dark show today.
Yeah, he died. Yeah, I know he died, but like...
I have no idea what the circumstances around his death were, but I'll tell you this. They added a bunch of The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross. If you don't know who Bob Ross is, he hosted a show on PBS called The Joy of Painting.
Big fro.
He had a big afro, and he would talk about happy trees, and we're going to do some happy trees. They put a bunch of episodes on Netflix, and they are phenomenal. They're just a great, relaxing watch.
Really? I can't
yeah.
get into
Oh,
them.
it's so good.
He was, if you watch some of them, he talks about when he was in the military, and he goes into these like very quickly. He'll eventually stop talking about it, but he'll talk about like basically how he used to scream at everybody in the military. He was like a screamer.
Yeah.
He was also like one of the worst guys you could be
Yeah.
under.
Like
And-
he was screaming at his underlings.
Yeah, and like he was one time he's painting in the show. He's just like, and one day in the army, I decided I'd never scream at another human being again, and that's when I started painting.
Yeah.
And this wasn't even like the season finale. This was just some
it's
random
like in the
line
middle.
in a
Yeah.
random episode.
Yeah. That was his thing. Like, you relax through painting, and he was all about that.
Grew the fro out.
I was always so bored watching it when I was younger.
I used to have it on
I
while
like-
I was playing with my toy accelerators, but
I was more of an imagination station kind of guy.
yeah.
No, if I want to do something relaxing, I find other like that. That's not for me. I don't know.
So how did he die, actually?
It says lymphoma.
Oh, that's sad.
I don't know why that's a thing.
I don't know
Kills
why
by a
his
tree.
death is, I guess because he died in the 90s.
Jeffrey Dahmer ate him and then fucked him.
That's probably it. I wonder how he's decomposing.
Illness and death. He had lymphoma in the early 90s. Eventually forces retirement. He died at 52. Oh, that's sad.
That's young. That's sad. I highly recommend watching some of, I guess it's Beauty is Everywhere, which is now on Netflix. It is very enjoyable. If you're looking for a slow TV, have you guys heard about slow TV? This is like
it's like when they show trains driving around for hours. Right?
Absolutely. There's a bunch of that on Netflix too. You can watch just a train go through Denmark for 8 hours.
I see. That's more for me than the painting.
Then I don't see why you don't like the painting. It's very, very similar.
The guy talking. I
Put
don't
it
know.
on mute.
I have this app I love. It's called White Noise.
Yeah.
And you can pick all these different sound effects: dryer, Rain on a car roof is my favorite.
Yeah, I have a similar app.
Yeah, and I put it on, and yesterday at work, and I nap when I rarely find time to nap on my break. I rarely get a good sleep.
Yeah.
And I put on train tracks, and I was in a really crowded faculty lounge, and everybody's loud, and I put the headphones on, and I turned it all the way up, and I was like trying to pretend I was on a train.
Yeah.
It was the deepest sleep I think I've had in months, if not years. And
Wow.
It was like in a chair at work.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to start sleeping at work. You get to sleep at work? Man,
Well,
Or are people listening to this that shouldn't know about
No,
this?
it was my lunch break.
Oh,
I
all right.
decided not to eat that day.
And take a little
I couldn't keep my eyes open.
take a little cat nap.
I was up late editing the podcast.
No, not this podcast.
Not
This is
this
live,
one, the other
baby.
one. Yeah, it doesn't really. It's interesting. So I googled the death of Bob Ross to see if there was like something remarkable about it.
Yeah,
What's
I
interesting
mean-
is that Google just, if you Google the death of blank, the Google just tells you who the.
Yeah, it just comes up in big bold letters, lymphoma.
Like it answers the question for you. Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Like I'm curious. How many people does Google
Search Jeffrey Dahmer. Let's see what it comes up. Let's see if it just says beaten
Hit
to
in head
death.
by broom.
Beaten to death by prison.
Let's see. Murder.
Murder. There you go. Cause of death, murder.
That's interesting. John Wayne Gacy, capital punishment. Oh, that's who we. No, we said Gacy. Richard Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez. That was another one.
Give me another one. Let's see who else died. Kevin Sorbo. He's still.
He's still with us. The death of. I don't know.
Who's
I can't think of anyone in the 90s.
Nicole Brown Simpson. No, we know that. Well,
And we know how that happened.
I'm curious if it'll just say OJ.
It'll probably just say murder.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do it. That feels tasteless.
The death
Ron
of
Goldman.
who was famous and died in the night? Leslie Nielsen. How did Leslie Nielsen die?
He didn't die in the 90s, but I was
But
gonna
he
say
was- he was in
see,
the
these are
90s.
famous people. I'm kind of pneumonia.
Pneumonia.
I'm kind of like I want to know how obscure. Like I've done this with people's net worths at one point. I googled it because Google will tell you how much they're worth.
Yeah.
And I want to know how obscure do you have to get before they bother telling you how you died.
My grandma.
So we're Googling the death of Joe's grandma.
No,
Simon Birch did it. We cracked the case, boys.
Quote from Simon Birch. Amazing. All right,
and
well,
that's our show.
So, Joe, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for
and
having me.
thanks for everyone who submitted topics, especially Lyle, who submitted the death of Bob Ross. But, Joe, as we wrap up the show here, we like to turn to our guests and ask them, what have you learned today?
I learned that a 5-year-old Jack can write better stuff than I can now. And I learned that Simon Birch killed my grandma.
There you go. Wow, a
The
twofer.
trick is to put in the word grease. Whenever it's a great plot device.
Yeah. What'd you learn, Jack?
I feel like I learned something earlier in a show, and of course I forgot.
And I have
And I
forgotten
made
it.
a mental note to remember it.
I do that every time, and I always
And
forget
I
it.
always forget. I keep wanting to get a legal pad and just start jotting shit down while we're
We
recording.
probably
but,
should do that, but we don't.
It's a little too much effort. And
So that's what you learned today. You learned we should probably get legal pads, but
I
it's too
learned
much
that
effort.
we don't know how to do a podcast as a flop.
That's true.
We don't know how to do a podcast as a hit.
That's definitely true. But thank you for listening. What did I learn today? I learned that Kevin Sorbo may or may not have traveled in time to dance in a square dance.
Swear to God it happened.
We're going to find that clip, Joe. We're going to find that
I'm
clip.
gonna look it up. So if Google knows how people died, see, I was just Googling keywords. Maybe I just need to straight up
The
ask it.
dance of
let's
Kevin
ask-
Sorbo.
I kind of want to Google the dance of Kevin Sorbo.
Did Kevin Sorbo dance?
The second result for Did Kevin Sorbo, the auto suggestion, was Did Kevin Sorbo die?
Yeah, like great minds.
Sad. Did Kevin Sorbo dance a square dance? We're Googling. And we
No.
got
Yeah,
nothing.
All right.
All right, well, we'll find out at some
We
point.
tried. Let us know in our Reddit.
Let us know in our Reddit. And thank you so much, Joe, for being here. Where can people find more of your work on the internet?
I have a website of all of it.
Oh, where is that website? Do we have to Google the death of Kevin Sorbo to find it?
JoeRiglieri.com.
All right, we will put a link to that in the show notes. You may have to send it to me because I don't know how to spell your name.
It's fine. Nobody does.
Do
All
you
right.
do social media? Twitter? Yeah.
I am on Twitter.
As what?
I don't know. I think it's at Joe Wrigley. I don't know.
We'll put that in the show notes.
We'll put it in
I
the
don't
show
know what I
notes.
typed in.
We'll figure it out.
And watch Adult Swim. You might find one of his videos pop up.
Yep. And if you like this show and you're on Twitter and you're tweeting and stuff, you can follow at 90s Percentile or at We Studios Pod, which is our overall one. And I'm at Dan Says.
I'm at Jackie No Breaks.
And if you want to support the show, you like what we're doing here, you want to kick in a couple of bucks, here's what you do. You go to our website, which is weepodcast.com, weepodcast.com. You click our Amazon banners, and that helps keep the show free. Just shop like you normally would. We get a small cut.
Yeah, you're just buying stuff for yourself.
Or, hey, man.
You're not losing any other money, but we're getting some of the money from that Jeff Bezos.
Absolutely. Give us that Bezos money.
Yeah.
That's what we want. And if that's too much work for you, all you got to do is go to amazon.wepodcast.com. You'll go right to Amazon, and we'll still get your money and Jeff Bezos' money. That's what we want.
That's why we're doing this.
That's why we're here.
We're trying to orchestrate a flop
Yes.
so that we can
We're
somehow
trying to scam Amazon out of money.
We're trying to wrest control of Amazon. I don't know how stocks work. I assume that's how you do it.
I don't know how money works. I mean, I assume we've been getting paid from Amazon, but I don't know.
It can be exchanged for goods and services.
That's
but
true. That's the extent of my knowledge. Yeah.
I think that's the extent of money. I think you're overcomplicating this.
If you don't want to spend a dime, but you still do want to support the show, here's what you do. You go to iTunes then, and you give us a 5-star rating and tell us what you like about the show and get other people to listen. That helps us out a lot. And if you do that, you might get your review read live on air, just like Joe is about to read one of our iTunes reviews.
Okay. Oh, it is a long one.
It is a longie.
Alrighty. In the year 1990X, two boys began a lifelong friendship that, through many adventures together, too numerous to mention here, go listen to all the podcasts and sync points for those, would see them take on their greatest challenge, to dive to the depths of the hell, to find The Simpsons' worst episode ever. And now in the year 20XX, Dan and Jack are back to push you to the limits of your nostalgia by recalling those 90s, Sorry.
It's okay.
My eyes are getting it's a T8.
Does that help?
Yeah, 90s and leaving you hang on the edge of your seat as they jump on some tangent or two that has a strenuous connection to the day's topic at best. Is this making any sense?
Sort of.
Okay.
I like that it's
I was to keep reading every
me.
other word and just saying them out loud. Whether they go it alone or aided by their staunchest allies, Dan and Jack will take you on a roller coaster ride through the days of generations X and Y. So strap on your flannel, pull your pants down below your butt, set up your crossfire, and pack your Dunkaroos for an extreme voyage through the historic era of the 1900s with 90s Percentile.
Nice.
Wow. Who wrote that? By who?
That was the Schizoid. It's the Schizoid.
Schizoid.
All right.
So thank you.
He just raised the bar for iTunes reviews in terms of 90s thoroughness. We want as much 90s slang and references as you can in our iTunes reviews, and that was a prime example, or a prim example.
A prim example, and that is now the bare minimum of the word count. All future reviews have to be at least that long, if not longer.
And we prefer a table of contents like the miscellaneous gang.
It would really help us out a lot.
But
if you
Cone
could put that in
Publishing
there.
will back it up.
Absolutely.
Maybe not Jack Lane Agency.
Maybe. They're tough to work together. They didn't like putting out the miscellaneous
Simon
gang.
and Schuster, they hated each other.
They hated each other's guts. So, Joe, thanks so much for being here. We'd love to have you back. And I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah, my name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and we'll see you in another decade. All right.
Disappointed.